What is up, guys? We are live. Welcome. In today's video, I'm going to break down step by step the start to finish process of wholesaling real estate. Yep, step by step, I'm going to give you a start to finish guide here. So if you're brand new into wholesaling, you do not know what wholesaling is, or you really want a refresher, or really just see the entire step by step process, this is the perfect video. I'm going to hold your hand from start to finish wholesaling real estate. So really excited for this, guys. If you don't know who I am, I'm Zach Ginn. I'm a real estate wholesaler, seven-figure real estate wholesaler out of Port St. Lucie, Florida. And in this channel, I'm on a mission to help you make $100,000 per year in real estate wholesaling, absolutely for free. No gurus, no course material, nothing. I'm here to actually help you absolutely for free. So really excited for this. But before we get into it, before I actually get started, remember, guys, comment below your questions, smash that like button, and subscribe. Also leave a comment, and I'm here to help you guys out. So leave your comments and we'll get going. So let's get going, start to finish. Let's go through the whole wholesaling real estate process. So as you can see here, this is wholesaling start to finish. So let's get into it, guys. So really quickly, excuse me, what is wholesaling? So basically, you guys have heard it. Everyone, your friends have told you, go watch this video. What is wholesaling? So basically, wholesaling is the art of flipping paper. Yes, you literally find a seller who is willing to sell the property quickly for cash at a deep discount and sell to a cash buyer. Basically, a cash buyer is another real estate investor or someone who's actually looking to buy that other property with their own funds. And basically, they're trying to buy the property from us for a profit. So basically, that is wholesaling in a nutshell. We are flipping the paper. We're not selling the real estate at all. We're actually selling the paper that we get on the real estate. So really quickly here, this is a quick check. Today is the 23rd. On the 17th, basically a week ago, closed another deal for $20,000. And you're basically wondering like, hey, who's this kid? Does he do any deals? Just showing you quick $20K we made last week. And I think have a couple wholesales. So we do a lot of flipping. So don't get too many like crazy wholesale deals. Like we don't do like 10 checks a week. But a lot of properties we actually buy them and sell them for a profit. But really quickly, just showing you some proof. I guess last week made $20K on a wholesale deal. So it's pretty good. It's what we like to get every week or so. So why I love wholesaling so much. So basically, I love wholesaling because you can get in this business, make $20,000 checks like this, basically with no cash, no credit, or no college degree. The only thing required for wholesaling real estate, though, is a great work ethic and a great attitude. If you have those two things, that's all you need to be successful in real estate wholesaling. So a really quick refresher of who I am. So if we're new, you haven't know who I am. Hi, my name's Zach Ginn. I'm a 21-year-old real estate wholesaler, house flipper, creative finance guy, real estate investor, more or less, in Port St. Lucie, Florida. Me and my dad, Rick, we run a seven-figure wholesaling operation in Port St. Lucie, Florida. So basically, I started out by myself at 17 with about $300. Asked Rick, my dad, actually get me into wholesaling. He basically said, no, do it on your own if you want to find it hard enough, because I didn't really have a place there. So basically, started my own wholesaling operation. And unbeknownst to me, in high school, when I was 17, I made about $100,000 in my first year before I graduated high school. Basically, after that, I partnered up with Rick after coming back from college at the age of, I think, 20, I believe. And basically, with him, after going solo, partnered up with him, and now we scaled it up to 7 figures a year in Port St. Lucie, Florida, the whole Treasure Coast region, really. And right now, what I do is I have people working for me. So there's people that run the appointments for me. There's people that sell the deals for me. I'm not really in the business too much. So the cool part is that means I got plenty of time on my hands. And so basically what I do is I'm basically on a mission. I started out in this business. These gurus wanted me to give them $5,000 to learn this wholesaling stuff. And I didn't have the money. And I told myself, if I ever got really good at wholesaling, I would absolutely teach this stuff for free. And that's my mission here on this channel is I want to teach you guys wholesaling for free. I want to give you all of my secrets. There's nothing I'm holding back in these videos that I do on this YouTube channel. I'm literally trying to give you everything I can absolutely for free. So my absolute mission here is to help you make six figures a year, just like I did when I was starting out when I was 17 years old, absolutely for free. I want to put these gurus out of business, and I want to help the people. I'm not here to make a buck off of you. I'm literally here to help you out. So that's who I am. So basically, I'm just trying to stop these guys out. So if you can really quickly, the more you guys like and subscribe to this channel and watch this content, that means the more people that see this free stuff, that means I get to see more people. That means more people watch my stuff, and that's less money the gurus get, which means you have more money to spend in your marketing, which ultimately will give you the best results for your wholesaling business. No gurus, no course is going to help you out. And I promise you, here's my promise to you. There's going to be no upsells at the end of this. I know a lot of these like type of videos, it's like, okay, this is it. Buy my course. I promise you, there's no upsells. There's no cash grabs. There's no games. There's no link to buy my thing here. Literally, what I'm doing right here is trying to help you out in real estate wholesaling. So also, if you guys want to comment below what area you're in, like where in the United States or outside the United States you're trying to get into wholesaling and your age or anything like that, that'd be really cool. At the end of this, I'm going to do a live Q&A also, which I'm more than happy to help you guys out. So really quickly here is the ugly truth here is I can break this basic presentation more or less up into 10 pieces and make it a course. And I could sell it for about like $1,000. And trust me, I would get a lot of sales on it. I promise you that. With the following we have here at Flip with Rick, this video, I could just cut it up, make a course, and a lot of people are going to pay for it. But this is what I'm going to do. This is my promise here. If you do me a favor and pretended like you just gave me $2,000 to go watch this video, that means this is why courses do well sometimes, is because if you actually spend the money, you would actually spend more time and attention on that video and on that course than if you get it for free. So if you can do me a huge favor, pretend like you just spent $2,000 watching this video. If you do, you'll get the same mental results of if you actually paid for this. So think you just gave me $2,000, get $2,000, put it on the table and just pretend like you gave that to me. Then you will pay more attention to this video, this course type things. Write the pen and paper down. If you spent money to watch this video, I guarantee you have a notepad. You would literally just be writing this stuff down like, oh my gosh, I just spent a lot of money. I got to learn this stuff. If you do it, I promise you, you will spend more attention on this. And this is the stuff that these like courses that like I've seen all these courses. This is the same information. So if you pretend like it, you'll get the same results if you spent $2,000 on this course. I'm trying to help you guys out here. So comment below your questions. Also, if you do that, if you pretend like you spent me the $2,000, I promise you, if you comment below a question in this video, or if you direct message me at Flip with Rick or at Flip with Zach, I will personally message you on Instagram or Facebook or any YouTube comment. If you're watching this from 2023, comment below. Zach really will personally comment below and I will respond to it. Every DM that I get, I personally respond to. A lot of these gurus have people like VAs that answer all these. They're trying to get sales. I promise you, I've been doing this this YouTube channel since I was 19. Every single comment that you have seen or actually DM that you've given me, I have personally commented to you back. And I promise you, I will do the same exact thing. Every single one I've personally done back. And the reason why I do that is because when I was starting out at 17, I used to comment and DM a lot of these big gurus and coaches trying to get help. And they left me on scene. And that was the most annoying thing I've ever had in my life. So if you DM me, I'll get back to you. It's hard for me to get back within like an hour or two. I try my best to go with everyone as soon as I can. But I promise you, within a week, you'll get an answer from me. I promise you that. So let's get started, guys. So this is absolutely start to finish. So you might be like, your crazy uncle or your brother or, your sister sent you this video and they're like, what's all these crazy terms? You're hearing them talk about them like crazy. So I'm going to break it down very simply for you. Some of the lingo of wholesaling. So I'm going to say some lingo here that's probably not going to make any sense to you. So I'm going to try to, explain it as best as I can. So a lot of gurus, a lot of wholesaling guys, you're going to watch some more videos from me. You're going to hear me say the word motivated sellers. So what is a motivated seller? Basically, a motivated seller is someone who's looking to sell the property for cash. So either they're going through a divorce, the property needs a lot of repairs. In general, just they're motivated. When there's a definition of something, I don't like to use the words in it for the definition. So like if I say, this is someone who's extremely motivated to sell their house, it's like, that's already in there. Someone who really wants to sell the property for a discount. They're literally going to give you equity if you can provide them a solution. And that solution is a cash offer on their piece of real estate. Just like a pawn shop or a used car dealership. If you have a used car dealership, you'll just trade it in. Don't have to deal with the hassle. It's not worth it. you're not an expert on cars, VIN numbers, you don't want to do the sales thing, you don't want to do the Richard Rawlings fast and loud like negotiation. You just want to get rid of it cash. Really simple as that. And you can do it here. So it's just kind of like, when you got the used car dealership, like, hey, I just bought a new car. I don't want a regular car here. I just want to get rid of it. Really simple and easy. So that's what they're willing to do. And they do it. Same thing with cars. They'll do it for real estate. And if you get very good at talking to them and actually helping their problems, not trying to make a buck off of them, but actually helping them, you'll do very well. So that is a motivated seller. Next here is cash buyers. Like I've said before, a cash buyer is basically 95% of the time is another real estate investor who's probably looking to flip the property or maybe buy it as an investment for a rental property. These people are actually going to buy the paper that we actually got on our contract. So if we have, April here, and April wants to sell her property, and she just, she's going through a divorce, and they both agree they just want to get April and John. And so I put a contract for like $100,000, and they want to get rid of it. I say 100, I agree with them. And this guy, this cash buyer, maybe sees this as like a good rental opportunity. And I sell that piece of paper to him to 130,000, and the property is worth 140. So this cash buyer is getting a discount on that property from me. So it's actually really cool. So they get a discount on it, and we get a discount on it, and I make like $30,000 to $20,000, whatever it is, on there. It's absolutely amazing. So these people are actually the ones that pay us on the transaction. Next here is a contract or an assignment of contract. So basically a contract in real estate wholesaling or wholesaling real estate is the paperwork that we do. So that is what we're selling here. We're selling our contract. So like I've said before, if I write a contract, an agreement with April there for 100,000, and I have a cash buyer that wants to buy it for 120, that means I will assign it to them, basically sell them that contract, give that contract in exchange for money. So I'll give you this $100,000 contract for $20,000. And then at the end of it, with title companies, things like that, we'll get a $20,000 check like the one I showed you I did last week. So pretty cool, right? So next here is also really quickly for the more advanced people watching this, if you go to www.flipwithrick.com/contract, I know a lot of guru courses, you got to buy it. Let me see if I can find this really quick. It'd basically be here. On the bottom, www.flipwithrick.com/free wholesaling contract. That is my free assignment of contract, the free contract. So that $20,000 check you saw me do, I used this exact contract below in Florida to actually get it done. So pretty cool, right? So next here is title company. Again, guys, I'm not this master like presentation guy. I'm not the slickest talker out here. Like I'm honestly as real as it gets. This is my strategy I use. I mean, it's not the fanciest. I'm not Gary Vee or Grant Cardone out here, but I'm trying my best to help you guys out the best as possible. So again, if you guys are watching this and you want to know if this is recorded, you got to go pick up your daughter, pick up your son. Remember on YouTube, if this is Flip with Rick on YouTube or the Zach Ginn YouTube channel, the replay on here will be permanent forever. So you don't have to worry. Like you don't have to watch this live if you like can't. But if it's live, you actually get to ask me the questions and be pretty cool. So a title company. So a title company basically gives title insurance. So you might know titles from like cars or RVs, maybe even mobile homes. And so basically a title company is going to be the third party intermediary in this transaction. And they're the ones at the end of the day that's going to pay us. So that check I showed you was from the title company, not from the cash buyer. So basically the title company gives title insurance to the actual seller, and actually, no, it gives it to the buyer. And basically that title insurance ensures that, hey, this property, the title's good because I just spent hundreds of thousands of dollars on a house. I don't want to go lose all that money. That's a lot of money to lose. So the title company does it. So basically what they'll do is they'll have the seller sign the warranty deed over, and then they'll have the cash buyer actually sign that they're agreeing to buy it, wire the money. And so if it's $120,000, that they'll give the full $120,000 to the title company. The title company will disperse the funds, the $100,000 to the seller. We help them in their problem. And then the $20,000 in a check or wired to me. I get my $20,000. That's the best part about it. So the next one here is comps ARV. This is pretty simple. So comps, also short for comparables. So comparables, ARV is after repair value. That's kind of how we figure out how much a property is worth. So we might not know how much a property's worth. So it's like, hey, Zach, you said you were going to buy it for 100 and then you sold it for 120. How did you figure out a cash buyer is willing to buy it for 120? What I did is I looked at comparables in the actual transaction. So I looked, hey, if it's a 2-bedroom, 1-bathroom, 1,000 square feet within a very certain like year built, zip code, I can actually go there and say, hey, these things are selling between 110 to 130. I got it for 100. I know that's a good deal. So that's what that is. Assignment, kind of what I said before, is when you're signing the contract, you're giving that contract to the cash buyer in exchange for money. And then the last one here, maybe the last one, is virtual wholesaling. So it's basically this wholesaling process, but you can do this whole process that I'm explaining here on the computer virtually. And below is a bunch of links I have. I actually have a ton of links to actually wholesaling real estate, this entire process. You can actually do it without meeting anyone. You can actually do it only with an internet connection. So if you live in Barbados, the Bahamas, you live in Trinidad and Tobago, Brazil, Germany, anywhere with an internet connection, you can actually wholesale real estate. It's pretty cool. So I'll get in a little bit of that, but most of this is for the entire wholesaling process. So we got some questions here. I'm going to get through everything and hopefully answer a lot of your questions here. So a big question I do get all the time here is, Zach, is wholesaling illegal? And wholesaling is not allowed physically. So you can't do this process in the state of Illinois. You can't do it in Illinois. You can actually do one wholesale deal a year, I believe, in Illinois without having a real estate license. And I believe Philadelphia is trying something very similar. I think they passed it, where you can't do it in the city. But you can virtually wholesale anywhere outside those areas if you're not a realtor. If you're a realtor, you can wholesale anywhere. But if you're not licensed, basically Illinois is very tough to do. And then Philadelphia is very tough. There's plenty of ways to get around it. Trust me. Don't even worry. There's double closings. I don't want to get too crazy with it right now. Trust me, I do videos every single day. So I explain all the processes. If wholesaling is going to be illegal somewhere, I will explain how you can actually do it legally. But really quickly, guys, remember, I'm not a lawyer, CPA, financial advisor. I'm none of those things. I'm not a lawyer. So don't sue me, bro. So remember that. I'm going to keep that up. This is for entertainment purposes only. I'm not a CPA, financial advisor, lawyer, all that mumbo jumbo stuff. I'm none of that. I'm just 21 years old, real estate wholesaler, explaining how I make 7 figures a year with this process. So it's pretty cool. Again, no sales at the end of this. So next here is, how do you find a wholesaling title company? So I think that question just got asked. Literally, I'm going to go to everyone's thing. So don't worry. I just got some people asking a lot of questions. I'm going to ask everyone's questions. I will answer all of them. But really quickly, I know someone asked that. So there's detailed videos below on this, but basically to find a wholesaling title company, the right one, is you need to call all the title companies in your area and see if they work with wholesalers. And if they do, ask them and give them the assignment of contract, the free one that I just provided, www.flipwithrick.com/contract. And then ask around other Facebook groups for wholesaling and ask them what kind of friendly title companies in, let's say Fresno, California. But below me, I don't think the link's on there. There's plenty of links below this video right now, but there should be a link there in the next hour, I believe, for finding the right wholesaling title company. Let me write a note really quick to link for title company on this video, and then we'll get it from there. So a motivated seller. So how do we actually find these motivated sellers? So some common places where you find motivated sellers, some lists to actually pull. You can actually find a list of people who are potentially looking to sell the property for a deep discount. You don't have to go out there and you're not shooting out the bat. Like, you can actually be very detailed and precise on actually finding these motivated sellers. So the first one you can do is actually called code violations. So code violations is basically the code compliance department. They'll give fines to people, or actually houses, that people live in houses that either has really high grass or a dilapidated property, and they'll actually stick a violation on there for them, and they got to pay $50 a day till they got it resolved. And that list is actually public for us, the taxpayer, to actually get. And there's a million videos I have on there. If you search code violation space Flip with Rick, it will be on there. I guarantee it. The next thing you do is drive around and actually look for ugly houses in your area. It sounds a little weird. It's called driving for dollars, and that's a really good way to find motivated sellers. Next here is divorce lists, lien lists. So divorce lists, people going through a divorce, you can actually target those people if they're wanting a cash solution for the property. Next here is lien lists, people that have liens, people that are behind on their taxes, people that aren't paying their utilities, a lot of other people, like crazy stuff. So if there's a lien on someone, it will be on that list. High equity, people that own a lot of like equity in the property. So basically, if the property's worth $100,000 and there's a $30,000 loan on there, that means that 70% of the property's value is actually real equity and 30% of that's debt. So usually over 60%, that means they're high equity. That means they have a lot of equity, which means we can get really large margins on those deals. Next year's pre-foreclosure, people that aren't paying their actual mortgage, they're actually getting a pre-foreclosure before they get into foreclosure. Those are very motivated people. And then next year is tax delinquency, people who are way behind on their taxes. Next year is one of my favorite lists to actually go after motivated sellers is called probates. Probates are an absolute amazing one out here, and I absolutely love probates. So if someone passes away and the heir, the son, the daughter lives out of state and they just want to get rid of a dilapidated property, it's one of the best margins out there. So I 100% agree. I think it's really good. So really quickly here, I'm going to do this. I do this every single live I do. Just really quickly, I check if the volume's working. Okay, good. I was just making sure because I would cry if I did this whole video and the volume wasn't working. So next here, and the last one is basically water shutoff lists. So water shutoff lists is basically when the city utility department shuts off water for a property. And then it's pretty interesting here, but they actually shut off the water, and that's a public list that we can actually go after. So it's a really good list. It's called the water shutoff list. And if you guys comment below, I can actually link you to all these videos, DM me. But if you search any of these terms like water shutoff space flip with Rick on YouTube, I have a video on there. I think we're over 300 videos on YouTube. We should, by the end of the year, approach over 700, which is pretty insane in my opinion. So I have every topic, every nook and cranny in wholesaling real estate, I have a video for, and I'm going to keep doing it. And if I run out of things to say, I'll just do a live and answer people's questions. I don't care. But really, that's one of the best motivated sellers lists. And the next part is called marketing. So we have the list, but how do we actually tell that list, hey, are you looking to sell a property for cash? Or, hey, call me if you have a property you want to sell for cash. The difference between motivated seller lists and marketing is list polling and marketing is the marketing is we actually going after the list now. So I taught you there how to actually find the lists. ListREI.com is the best one for finding lists. I'll talk about it a little later. But so the next one is marketing. So how do I actually go after these lists to do really well? And the biggest answer here is you got to do these marketing strategies. So cold calling, basically we'll cold call, let's say a high equity list, for example. So if you watch Wolf of Wall Street or Boiler Room, you know what cold calling is, or if you're a realtor, you definitely know what cold calling is. And cold calling is basically you have a phone and you have a software that really goes through the whole list. And basically you're going to call people and see if they're interested in selling their property for cash. You call a couple thousand of these people, there's someone who's going to be willing to sell it, and you can make that $20,000 to $30,000. Next here's that drawing for dollars. Basically kind of what I said before, you'll cold call that list. Next year's bandit signs. So bandit signs are those big, ugly, more or less, signs that you might see on the side of the road, or maybe 5 years ago you saw them a little more crazily. Crazily is that even a word? More crazy than you did before. And there's basically those yellow signs that said, hey, we buy houses cash with the phone number on them. Those are what bandit signs are. That's actually how I got my first real estate wholesaling deals, through a bandit sign. Pretty crazy. Next here is direct mail. So basically a piece of mail that we'll send to a seller. See if I have it. I think I have a. So like these things, we'll actually send a piece of mail out to a seller. For example, this is a cash offer postcard that we have at Flip with the Rick. So basically we'll just give someone cash or see if they're interested in selling a property. Most of our deals actually come from direct mail. Just how it works in our market. So the next one here is door knocking. So door knocking is basically what it sounds like. You go to someone's door, knock, knock, knock. Hey, my name is Zach. Are you interested in selling a property for cash? Go from there. You can actually partner up with someone to have them do the stuff too. You can actually cold call for sale by owners, basically people on Zillow who are looking to sell the property. You can go on the MLS and actually find these deals. You do radio ads. You can actually send text out to these sellers. Called SMS text blasting. You can send emails out, send ringless voicemails. So that's basically, you can actually put a message in someone's voicemail and there's no ringing, go straight in there, do thousands at a time and say, hey, my name's Zach. If you're interested in selling your property or cash, just give me a call back. Next, here's Facebook ads. You can run Facebook ads for it, see if someone's interested in selling the property for cash with Facebook ads. And then the last one here is basically SEO. So if someone's on like Google and they search sell my property for cash or, sell a property, it will actually pop up and they can actually go on this. So pretty cool. So next here is link below. So again, like I said, I have plenty of marketing playlists. So they're all going to be on here below. Hours and hours of in-depth free videos on list polling and stuff like that. They're going to be on here. So don't worry about that. So the next one here is how do I actually reach out to the sellers and how do I qualify it? So let's say if we're doing cold calling, that we're driving around, we're going to send text blasts out. How do I actually know if someone on that list is looking to sell the property? And how do I actually know if I should take the step on meeting them and actually getting that contract signed? So we actually want to do something called qualifying. So we want to make sure there's qualifications that have to be met with a seller, someone who's looking to sell the property or someone who's actually a homeowner on if it's worth it for us to try to get a contract and see if they're actually willing to sell it for a discount. Might sound crazy, but there is a method to my madness on how I know if someone's actually interested in selling the property for cash. So let's go into it. So we have to ask them these 4 questions. And these 4 questions have been developed from the goats of real estate wholesaling, Russ Whitney, like those guys, Ron LeGrand, like guys from the 80s that have been wholesaling real estate. They actually came up with this formula. I know a lot of gurus are claiming that they made, hey guys, in the 80s, Rick will tell you, there's real estate wholesaling books I have on my shelf right here from the 80s that use the same 4 questions to qualify a seller if they're looking to sell a property or if it's a great fit. These are all stolen from the 50s, from those like Mad Men type guys trying to sell ads. These things have been gone like forever. But these are the 4 questions we have to ask our sellers to see if they're willing to sell the property for cash and see if it's actually a good real estate wholesaling deal or not. So motivation, condition, time frame, and price. So let's break them down. So motivation is basically, hey, why are you looking to sell your property? That's a question we're going to ask. We have a good conversation with them there and seeing why they're interested in selling their piece of real estate. Next here is condition. So basically, we want to ask, like before we asked what their motivations were for selling, we want to ask what's the condition of the property? What does it look like? What's the condition of the roof? Is the AC newer? Is there any updates in the property? Is there a kitchen? Do I need to update the kitchen? Do I have to put new granite countertops in the kitchen? The flooring? Just really asking about the overall condition of the property. Next here is time frame. So basically asking what their ideal time for them to be out of the property and actually get the cash in their hand. Very important to ask that. It's really, really cool if you can actually get the time frame going. So you can really set a timetable for selling the property for cash. Next here is price, what price to look and get rid of the property for. From there, we could start that whole negotiation process in real estate wholesaling where we actually get our deals. So we also want to ask the seller if we can call them back soon to set up an appointment. So we asked the 4 questions and they basically, from there, we asked the motivation. They say, yes, I'm actually looking at my property, sell my property for cash. They ask, and they really give us a good qualifying answer. Like, hey, I actually lost my job. I got to get rid of this property, move to New York where I have a better job set up. It's a good one. We want to make sure that someone's condition, the property needs a little bit of work, not a perfect property where they just list it on the MLS. Time frame, they actually have a time frame. They're looking to sell it. Hey, I got to get rid of this property within the next 60 days. Also, if they give us a price that's not crazy high, like if the property is worth 120 and they want to sell for 300, that's not a good qualified seller. So we want to make sure the price is really good also. I think it's really important for our real estate wholesaling basic operations here that we know that. So we actually ask them, so if they say yes to all this stuff, we basically say this is going to suck. Like this is going to make you really angry, but this is what we do, right? Ask the seller if we can call them back soon to set up an appointment. Or if we're virtually, we want to ask them if we can call them back in the next 30 minutes and we can set up an appointment from there. The reason what we're going to do here is we're going to check the comparables. So they told us that they want to sell for $150,000, for example, here. We want to check the comps. So that's all I said, comps and ARV. Have the video below. We need to find out if they want to sell it for a good enough discount to actually be worth our time to actually call them again or meet them in person to get an even deeper discount. Comps, again, are short for comparables, where we find the ARV, which is the after repair value. We want to look for similarly sold houses within, I would say, plus or minus 200 square feet. We want to make sure the property is in the same subdivision. And we also want to make sure that the condition's also really good too. Like within. So if the property needs a lot of work, we want to actually look at comparables with properties that actually need more like work or less work. So if it's a 1,200 square foot, the property's not updated. The property hasn't been updated since it was built, let's say in the year 2000. We know it needs a new roof. So we got to find other similar ones selling. So if I know one's selling for 175,000 but that one has a good roof, we want to minus off the repairs. Let's say, for example, $15,000 would be the roof here and some other small things in like the state of Florida. That means we basically come up for this example, $150,000 more or less for the value of the home. That's what I think a cash buyer will probably pay for it, or maybe that's what the value is on the market. I got plenty of videos on this, but so we figured out, okay, so the property is worth $150,000. And the seller told me that they want to sell it for $140,000. What we're going to do, we figured this out. We're going to call this seller right now and say, hey, Sally, hey, April, I was looking at everything, would next Saturday work, or this Saturday, let's say we're calling them on a Thursday, would that work for me to come by the property and we can actually discuss it and seeing if you're willing to actually sell it? I'm actually looking to buy this cash. There's no secret like formula to this stuff. Like you just got to call them. Like action is the best part on this wholesaling this process. Action is the most important thing. There's no secret formula. You can only sell your deal for what your cash buyer is willing to pay for it. Remember, I'm going to say this one more time. The comparable, the ARV, the value of the house is only worth what a cash buyer is willing to pay for it. So if I have an Apple iPhone that's worth, let's say $500, I know these things are worth more, but let's say it's worth $500. It's only worth it if someone's willing to buy these new for $500. No one has a value. If there's 10 billion of these things, then these things aren't worth $500. There's too much supply in the market. So it's only worth what someone's willing to pay for it. That's kind of how real estate works. So if it's worth $150, we know that. What we want to do is collect their information and put them in a database. So if I'm dealing with 50 of these types of people, I have a really good memory, but my memory is not good enough to memorize 50 at a time. Like that's a lot. So we have a little database where we can actually put our stuff in, and we put all that information in there so I don't forget. If April told me her dog's name is Chewy, the Chihuahua, I probably won't remember that next time I call her or see her in person. So maybe I want to put notes in there. So before I go meet them, I look at my notes. I remember Chewy, the Chihuahua. So we can go there. We actually build more rapport and get the actual deal. So that's really important for us. So we want to collect their information and put them basically in a database for us. That's called a CRM. It's customer relationship manager, I believe, or customers relationship manager. I'm definitely saying it wrong. But it's one of those like type of things where we can manage our relationships in a database. So the most popular one is Podio. Podio is absolutely for free. Below in a link, I'm going to say this a million times. I have links for everything, but I actually have a step-by-step video actually how to set up your Podio. So you have that. You can actually use a pen and paper, use basically like a notebook here, and you can write it down if you want. But let's say there's a fire or you lose your notebook. I'd rather have basically something on the internet that'll help us out. And Podio has an app for free where you can use it in your phone too. So you don't have to lose it. If you're driving around and you don't have your computer near you, can go on your phone and actually look. That's what I like. Or any other CRM works. But I always talk really good about Podio because it's absolutely for free. That's why I like Podio so much. So we basically want to call that seller back, like I've said before, and set the appointment to see their house. Now, if this is a virtual real estate wholesaling appointment, we got to do it actually in person. Actually, not in person. We actually do it over the phone. So catch 22 there. So the appointment. So basically we asked them, hey, can we go meet you this Saturday? So our goal here is to walk away with that written contract, that written agreement. And we want to get it under contract for a deep, deep discount. And we want it to be signed by me and signed by the seller. So what we're going to do is we're going to meet the seller. We're going to walk through the property and talk with the seller about their problem. We're going to remember the Ford method. We're actually going to build a relationship with this person and actually, connect with them like a human being. And at the end of it, we want to get a takeaway and actually get this thing sold. So the Ford method really quickly is FORD. F stands for family. We want to talk about their family. If we're going through the property and they have a picture of their kids or their grandkids, we want to talk about like, hey, who's that? Is that your grandkid, child, grandson, granddaughter? They'll talk about it. Them talking just builds a connection with you. Remember O, occupation, talk about what they do for a living. R, recreation, what they like to do for fun. A lot of people in Florida here love to go fishing, so I love talking about fishing. I love fishing too. And then D is dreams. What are they looking for in the future? What's their aspirations? What do they want to do with this house? Or what do they want to do in their life in the next 2 years? And how can I help them fulfill that with their real estate? So basically at the end of that, we want to do a takeaway. So this is the takeaway. This is the type of stuff that you got to pay a $7,000 course for. And like all the education, like you spend like a $4,000 mastermind. This is the stuff they'll tell you, giving out for free. These gurus, like they're going to bust in my door trying to stop me here, but I ain't going to let them. So basically this is my takeaway. Everything looks really good here, April. You know, I know you said that you need to sell this house for $140,000 and you wanted to do this within like 40 days, right? Say, yeah. Well, after looking at everything, April, because if you say someone's name enough, it triggers something in their brain where they actually like you more. So that's from How to Win Friends and Influence People, I believe. But you just say their name a lot. It actually works pretty good on your appointments. So you say, after looking at everything, April, I may not be able to do that $140,000, but what if I was able to, pay all the closing costs, deal with everything, really plain and simple. I bought this property for $110,000 and we can close within 1 month. How's that sound? And from there, if they say yes, we sign the contract. And basically that's it. So this is the contract. So if you go to www.flipwitherick.com/contract, let me put the link on there for you guys again. This is what the contract looks like. So it might be confusing to you, like, hey, how do I do this? Like, what's the process? So basically this is it. So we write the agreement. So this agreement is made so today is March 23rd. So the 23rd day of March, 2021, between seller, April Smith, and, if the husband there, and then maybe John Smith, and buyers. So the buyer, if you're under an LLC, put Zachary Ginn for Zachary Ginn LLC, or if it's just you, just put Zachary Ginn. And then put the street address, the city, state, zip, and then the deposit. So a deposit, basically, in some states, you have to put a deposit in there for it to be an actual legally binding contract. So usually, if worst case, you got no money at all, $10, that's what you can put. I'd like to keep it safe at 100. And then if it's a really good deal, sometimes I'll do like 1,000 or 2 or 3. I've done $3,000 deposits before, but leave it about $100. I would say if you have the money for it. Worst case, you're going to do $10. Get $10 from your mom. Like I don't know what else to tell you. To it, the closing. So it's $110,000. We got that under contract for. So making sure I just got my numbers right. So if we do $100 deposit, $109,900 would be the cash due at closing. Total price would be $110,000. Earnest money is right there. Prorations, closing date. We agree to sell this within, let's say, 50 days. So 50 days from now, we're going to put that all in there. And then the second page on this contract is they go through some of the legal jargon in there. Don't really have to know it too well. But number 9 here in the inspection. So how many days of an inspection period do we have? So within those days, that's what we can do. So an inspection period basically gives us more or less an out clause to get out of the contract. So I don't have to actually do 110 if someone's not willing to pay the $110,000 for the property. So what we do from there is I like to keep my inspection period within 30 days. Got 30 days to actually sell this piece of property. So I'll sell the contract for it. So that's it. Basically from there, we can put additional stuff if we have to. And then basically I sign it right there and then right there. And then boom, that's it. So you might ask yourself, Zach, okay, the contract signed. So what do I do now? Like, hey, I got the sign for 110. What do I do? Basically, we're going to try to sell this to another party, basically another real estate investor. And we need to actually sell this to a party for a profit. We need to find what we said before, a cash buyer. So cash buyers, again, this is the stuff you got to pay money for. I'm telling you right now, this is the stuff that they charge you so much money for, but this is the truth. A cash buyer. So there's levels to cash buyers. It's like a video game. There's levels. So the cash buyers that will pay the least amount of money, the ones will actually make the least amount with these cash buyers. Those are the people looking to flip houses for a profit. These are people that pay a lot of they buy a lot of properties and they flip a lot of houses. So they're very savvy real estate investors. They want deep discounts on their properties and they'll pay the least amount for it. Then we got people who flip less properties. Maybe they flip 4 or 5 properties a year, or maybe even 1 to 2. They'll pay us more because they want less of a discount. And they usually buy properties from the MLS for full market. So if I can get like 90% of the actual market value, they're ecstatic, they're happy. The next people that pay a little more, people that actually looking to buy these things for rentals. Those are my best cash buyers, more or less. They buy rentals at, they try to get 12% return on investment on their property on the market. And if they go through me, they can make like 15%. So they love it. They're really happy. They pay the most. And actually, they pay the most for most. So the most like you'll ever get is selling it for full retail. And that's actually people that live in the property. Wholesaling, basically buying the property and putting on the market. This is not wholesaling. That's how you get a lot of these. But really, it's really hard to wholesale property to someone who's actually going to live in it. So that's actually the tier system for cash buyers. So how do I find cash buyers? And again, there's detailed videos below, other description on this video, so you don't have to worry. But more or less, to find cash buyers, the best way to find them is through these. So basically, Craigslist is a really good method to use. Facebook groups are really good too. Facebook Marketplace, you can actually list the property if the seller is okay with you doing it. You're selling the contract. You can actually cold call cash sales. So if you go to listrei.com, listrei.com, basically, let me get a link here for you. Basically, go to listrei.com. You can actually get a 7-day free trial where you can pull all the cash sales in your area, and you can actually cold call them, see if they're interested in buying a discounted property. So those are really good. Go to your local real estate investors associations, and then obviously you can contact other realtors. They have cash buyers also. So pretty cool. So next here is the rules before you show the property. So you find someone, let's say on Facebook Marketplace or in a Facebook group, say, hey, I'm actually looking to buy some rental property. So before you actually go inside the house, what you want to do is set up with a seller that you want to, first of all, you want to agree. So let's say you found a guy who has a rental property and like it's all good to go. They have to agree on the price before we bring them to the property. So what we usually do is that cash buyer that has the house, we want to walk through that property with them, with the seller actually there. They want to walk through it, make sure, do a quick inspection, make sure it's all good. Then they're like, okay, fine, 140. And then that's it. We're good to go, ready to close. But before we actually show them through the property, we want to make sure they agree on a price beforehand. So let's say they agree to that $140,000. Hey, before Mr. John, a cash buyer here, before I actually bring you to the property, before we get a commitment here, I need you to commit right now. Are you willing, if the conditions like the pictures that I showed you, if it's like that, where you agree to buy this for $140,000? They say, yes, I will. Do you understand that I'll be making an assignment fee on this and I will be actually making a profit? Is this something you're okay with? If they say yes, then sure. If they're not, then no, they're not a right cash buyer. So how do I actually sell to the cash buyer? So the cash buyer will need to walk through the property with you. We want to make sure the cash buyer doesn't talk to the seller, but just acts as more of an inspector or a partner, because they actually are. And they're actually inspecting the property, and they're actually our partners in this deal for us to make money. What we want to do is call the seller and ask when it's a good time for the partner to see the house. It won't affect the price. We're just going through a quick inspection. After they're done walking through, we want to ask the cash buyer if everything's all good. They should say yes. They say yes. We actually go meet at Starbucks or a quick coffee shop, which you sign that assignment of contract there. Then we want to make sure that they put a $3,000 to $5,000 non-refundable deposits to the title company there. This is where the assignment of contract that you actually go to www.flipthework.com/contract actually looks like right here. And basically, you can fill that out, the assigner and the assignee. From there, you can fill all that info out, put the price there, the deposit they're going to put, in the back here, you get it signed. Pretty simple from there. Then next year, we actually want to wait for the closing. So we want to actually call the seller more or less 2 times a week until the closing, making sure they're all set up, they're good to go, the money's ready to go, they're actually like all set, they're moving. We also between these situations, we want to call the cash buyer once a week to make sure they're still all set to actually sell the property so we can actually get our assignment deal. Those are basically the rules with waiting for closings with the cash buyers. Then boom, we're on closing day. So closing day, this is the day we wait. Remember, the title company is actually going to be helping us through the whole process. You don't have to worry, no fretting, don't worry about it. So in the whole process, you don't have to worry. So this closing day. So the seller is going to sign the deed over and sell it, and the cash buyer buys. Then we get our check from the title company. So basically, remember, for this example, if we put it under contract for $120,000 and we assign the contract for $140,000, we get that $20,000. It looks like I added an extra zero there. Whatever, we make that $20K. just like that check I did. So what's next here? So I just showed you the process from start to finish. So how do you learn it? So again, this video is not going to like give you the like panacea, I think the cure-all for knowing wholesaling. But if you subscribe to this YouTube channel, the Zach Ginn and Flip with Rick YouTube channel, watch all of our playlists, and you actually join my free wholesaling mastermind. And it's actually a free wholesaling course on there too. But remember, I'm not selling anything on there. It's all for free. I do this all for free. Try to put these gurus out of business. That's basically all I'm trying to do. I have it, if you want, every Friday at 6:15 p.m. I literally hop on a Zoom with everyone in my mastermind. It's actually the largest wholesaling mastermind in the country. Pretty crazy, but that's the truth. It's the biggest one out there. Facebook.com/groups/wholesaling houses for real. So if you go to wholesaling houses for real on Facebook, it's right there. Pretty cool. So subscribe to this channel, watch all of our videos, participate in them, ask questions. Like if in this video you can ask a question, I'll 100% answer it. And then we can go from there and help you out. So that's basically what's next. And I'm here to help you out in the whole journey for wholesaling real estate. This is kind of what it looks like. So pretty excited about it. But the next process here is what I want to do is just answer some quick questions you guys had for me. Maybe I didn't clarify something on here and you actually had a couple questions. So looking to actually help you guys out. So let's answer some questions. I love the support you guys have been giving at this channel. So hi, what's up? What's up? Federico here is from Dominican. What's up? Keep it going. I'm 22 from Columbus. Appreciate the content on the channel. Oh my gosh. Thank you so much, Anthony. Awesome. Federico asks, is it possible doing this from another country outside the yes? It's called virtual wholesaling. I have a video below on virtual wholesaling. It'll show you the whole process. You can absolutely do it. There's guys from Trinidad and Tobago making hundreds of thousands of dollars in real estate wholesaling outside the country. There's guys from Australia doing it. There's so many great guys out here. You can do it from outside the country, like hands down. I'm stuck because I don't know how I can have a contract signed on. There's something called .loop or DocuSign. That's actually how to get it done virtually. And those videos I did tell you, do virtual wholesaling space, Flip with Rick. I'll explain it like I explain it very well, actually how to do it. It's pretty cool. Nice. Tons of value from you, Zach. Thank you so much, Johnny. That means so much to me. Love the All-In Entrepreneurs hat. Federico, you can download DocuSign. Boom. Easy to follow and to understand. Thank you. That is my goal. I pretended like, hey, if I was 17 again and I had no idea what wholesaling is, how would I try to explain it the best I can? And that's it. I love your content. Phoenix, Arizona. Oh my gosh. Sweet. Shreveport, Louisiana, 35-year-old female. Sweet. I'm telling you, 35, you have so much going for you for wholesaling. You can absolutely make 7 figures, make $1 million this year in profit from wholesaling. Get the systems, get the delegation right. You can absolutely do it. I 100% believe in you, Ashley. Thank you so much for the support. Hey, what's up, Zach? This is my first time catching you live. Trying to wholesale in Washington and Pennsylvania. Pretty good market. What's up? What's up? Hey, Rick, this is Zach. But what is up? How's it going? Got it. Let's boom. Come on, guys. 18 watching, only 9 likes. Smash that like button. Thank you so much. Mental, I just spent $10,000 on a live course. Zach, you're the man. You did. And if you pay the attention, you would actually do very well. And I do believe in you, Michael. Thank you so much. I thank you for mentally spending the money with me. I'm telling you, like, it sounds like I'm crazy saying it, but it is 100% true. Like if you mentally pretend like you did it, you will get you'll do the same amount of work that if you actually spent the money for it. I'm telling you, I've been inside these guru courses. These gurus don't know I actually have access to it. And I didn't give them the money, but some people have given me access and I've seen the in between there and I know what they give and I give way more. What's up? What's up? I don't know what it is. I will Google it. Alrighty. DM'd you, bro. I will answer that DM. I promise you. All the way from the Bahamas. What a beautiful country. Bahamas about 50 miles east of me. So I'm 50 miles west of you, wholesaling houses. So what's up from the Bahamas? Beautiful country. I love that place so much. Great fishing. Yeah, they use it. How to send the contract. Yep. Anyone in Ohio? If you're in Ohio, Caniac Chris is in Ohio. Sweet. You guys can link up there. Hi, Zach. Will we be able to watch the replay of this wonderful live cast? As you know, I always love and appreciate the content. Jason, you are the GOAT. Thank you so much. You're absolutely amazing, man. Yes, this live cast is going to be on YouTube for the rest of as long as YouTube's on. It should be there forever. So yes, it'll be on there. Just go to YouTube and then go to the newest videos. This should pop up. Pretty cool. Thank you so much. Try to find the company. Have it done. Sweet, sweet, sweet. Amelia says, I know you don't have an offer formula, but can you go into depth about putting an offer together when it comes to multiple cash comps? What I do is basically I find the value, kind of like what I did there is, hey, I find comps, should sell. It's worth about 150. What I do is put 90% discount on there, and then that's what a cash buyer is willing to pay for it. So if I have a $100,000 piece of real estate, I find all the cash comps, and I figure out, this property is worth $100,000 on the market right now with the condition. Ooh, look, am I in the reflection there? Yeah, there am I. I was going. But 100,000. So 90% of that, it's 90,000. That's what a cash buyer is willing to pay for it. So if I know someone wants to sell it for 80,000, if I get it under contract for 70, I can make a $20,000 on there, which is pretty cool. You answer my question right after I type it in. Sweet, sweet, sweet. Watch a few videos on it. Then you'll get it, and you'll be on your first deal. Sweet. Hey, Abdullah, how are you? Any suggestions on wholesaling friendly title companies? Do you have to be local? You don't have to be local. I'd call around, and basically where most of the wholesalers are doing their closings, that's really where you should be. How is a virtual double closing done? Basically with the title company, you make sure they're okay with double closings, and that should be it. There's a title company video below in the description to help you out with it. Sweet, sweet, sweet. Great question. He's going to have a Q&A at the end here. Yes, I am. How to find boots on the ground when virtually wholesaling another state. Thanks, Zach. You're a flipping genius. Thank you so much, AK. Basically, a notary is the best one to do. You can use realtors. Anywhere on Craigslist, people looking to actually get some money right now, that would be the best thing to do. When you have some time, make a full step-by-step video for people who don't live in the U.S. Yes, I'm working on it right now. Dealing with some people who are doing outside the country. I'm trying to get them all together for one. Hey, Zach, I'm an agent in Illinois who is starting to get into wholesaling. My broker isn't sure they like the idea, but I'm trying to convince them. I already have several leads. Do you know if any agents in Illinois do it? Yeah, so many. There's plenty. Actually, get connected with Illinois wholesalers and then see what brokers they're using. It's wholesaling. Like, that's it. Like, it's like saying, like James, it's like, hey, is it okay for a broker if I buy a property and sell it? Like, if I'm a real estate investor? They'll be like, yeah, go buy all the rentals you want, flip all the properties you want. Well, I'm just selling the contract. It's basically that. All right, yes, I'm keeping this up. Don't worry. I love that name, Batman of Chicago. Guys, Zach is epic. Check out his video for setting up Podio. This is a game changer. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. Barbara, thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. That means so much to me. Thank you so much. Everyone that's commenting, from the bottom of my heart, thank you. I am humbled every day by the amount of people that show support to this channel. It means like everything to me. I really appreciate it. Sweet, sweet, sweet. Check the comps. What's a spec buyer? Basically a speculative buyer. Mostly that's more of a land thing. So I really wouldn't like go too deep into that. I'm in Columbus. Time to do virtual. Sweet, sweet, sweet. Connect. Let's see. Sweet, sweet. Are you doing MLS properties? Yes. If you search MLS space flip with Rick, I'll show you actually how I wholesale on the MLS absolutely for free. Sweet, sweet, sweet. Ashley makes a really good point here. You just got to do it. If you're getting to wholesaling, you just got to do it. When I finally make my first deal, I want to contact him for an interview, just to make people know that it's possible no matter what. I'm actually dealing with so many people right now that are doing this that I'm trying to like show them that this stuff's real. Like, it ain't fake. Yeah, hit me up. Like, I don't care. Well, I'm from the Dominican Republic with not the best English skills, but I'm going to make it work for me. Yes, do it. You could have an accent. You could absolutely do killing it in a wholesaling. Like, your accent doesn't matter. It's the action and the will that you have to succeed. That's it. Good work ethic. You can do everything. There's people with, I guarantee, worse accents than you that do very well. Yes or yes? Yes. How do you show the buyer the property if you're wholesaling virtually? Basically, the best thing to do is actually have a lockbox on there. That is my absolute favorite one to do there. But if we don't have a lockbox on there, basically I'll have a boots on the ground doing it. Do I need to sell it in my name or LLC? I prefer LLC. Again, I'm not a lawyer, CPA, financial advisor, all that fun jazz. But if you have no money, do it in your name first, get some money, then create an LLC. Put them out of business. That's what I'm doing. I'm promising you, I will not stop doing this till I put all these gurus out of business. And I think wholesaling education, I'm on the forefront here on making all the information for free. So if some wholesaling gurus out here are starting to give out their courses for free, I will be very happy, but I ain't going to stop till they're all done. So I got a message from like, hey, pay me $500. I'll teach you wholesaling. I'm like, screw that. I ain't doing that. Like, are you kidding me? Like, I'm not paying $500. That's crazy. But no, I ain't paying no money for this. But no. Do you have any creative deals? I do a lot of creative finance deals. This is a wholesaling video. I'm going to keep it creative financing Not going to put creative financing in this, but subject to's, lease options, yes, I do. Any suggestions for wholesaling friendly title companies? They have to be local. I think I just answered this question, but call your local title company, see if they're okay with wholesaling, vet them. The description below is going to have that video. First time here, been wholesaling since 1985. Great content. Bro, that is so cool. Labario, 1985. You are one of the OGs of wholesaling. That is so cool. I definitely got to get you on my podcast. Message me. I'd love to talk to you, man. How do you communicate your commission fee to know your assignment fee? I don't really have to communicate to the seller. I communicate to the cash buyer and the title company. Awesome information. You're the man. Jason, you're the man. You're the man. Thank you so much for the support. You don't need an LLC to do it. In the future, you can set one up, but it's not mandatory 100%. I'm giving myself 4 days to do a deal. Oh my goodness gracious. I absolutely believe in you though. You can do it. What's up? What's up, guys? Tuxedo Park, New York. Oh my gosh. I meant Zach. Hey, no worries here. No worries. Good luck. You don't be down, but don't be down if it doesn't happen. There's people that have gone a year and a half plus. Yes. I got my first deal within a month. I think I got lucky. I mean, I don't know, whatever, but like I've been blessed beyond like compare. Like I'm so blessed in my wholesaling journey. So I got a deal within a month. Guys, it might take you a month. It might take you a year. Just like Caniac Chris saying here, it'll take some time, but once you get it going, you can absolutely kill it. So what's up? 7 figures. A newbie here getting started in Connecticut. Zach, do you think 1,000 leads a month will be enough for me cold calling 5 to 8? Yes, I do think it is. If it's the right list, I think you can absolutely do it. Probates, code violations, things like that. A very niche list. I think you do very well. AK, thanks for the thank you for the support. Like I could be telling my knowledge out, but if no one's watching this or actually like consuming this content, it's a waste of time. And you make my time worthwhile. Just trying to help you guys out. So I'm just humbled every day. Would it be considered beneficial for your own mobile to be your own mobile notary? Does take away from the need to work with a title company? Because I'm in Florida, I have to use a title company, and that's how most cash buyers want to do it. And remember, the cash buyer is actually paying for the title insurance, so it's free for us. How do you communicate your assignment fee to both parties? You don't really have to communicate to the seller. Like if you agree to 100, that's all they got to deal with. And then you communicate to the cash buyer and then the title company. Do you think it's smart to hire one virtual assistant in the beginning? Not in the beginning. I want you to learn all aspects of real estate wholesaling before you actually get into it. Because remember, if you want to hire a VA to do, let's say, cold calling, like, hey, like if you want to hire a VA to get into cold calling, like teach them cold calling and you don't know how to cold call, that's not good. Like, let's say if I was Mike Tyson's boxing coach, how am I going to teach Mike Tyson to be a good boxer? I don't know boxing. Like I like to do boxing for exercise maybe, but I don't know boxing. Like I would be a terrible person to help them out and actually train them. I don't even know what makes a good boxer or not. Like I know speed, power, but like I don't know I don't know the technique. I can't teach Mike Tyson that. I would have wasted a young Mike Tyson. For a virtual assistant, I want you to be an expert cold caller before you actually hire someone so you can be like Mike Tyson and actually teach them really well. I've lost my motivation somehow. How do I get it back? It's just how bad you want it. In my personal opinion, I'm going to tell you right now, your motivation to get out of this current situation you're in right now has to be greater than your motivation to just sit at home and not do wholesaling. Until that changes, nothing else will change in your life. Remember, you have to be more motivated to go out there and get action done and change your life in wholesaling than actually doing it. I'm telling you right now, it takes a drive. Go watch Eric Thomas, the hip hop preacher, Tony Robbins, all these guys. Like you watch some of that stuff, you'll get going. I'm telling you right now, you got to change your life. Facebook group on the bottom of the scrolling thing right here, facebook.com/group/wholesaling houses for real. So it's called Wholesaling Houses for Real. And if you want to hop on Friday, you can see me face to face. We can actually talk. Pretty cool. Thoughts on Bay Area wholesaling? Love the content. Josh Ramirez, what I want you to do is search Jimmy2, JIMMY space TU space flip with Rick. Should have a video on there where I actually interviewed him. He made $100,000 in one deal in the Bay Area. It's a lot of good margins, but a lot of competition. Bay Area is actually decent, but you got to get very good at it. What's the best list to pull on PropStream? So listREI.com. Let's see. That's the free trial there. My favorite is water shutoffs, vacants, and high equity vacants, also tax delinquencies. evictions, and credit card debt lists. That video below me in the description should show you all that stuff. Zach, I appreciate you for the information you give, and to be so young. You're a wonderful inspiration. Derek, your support inspires me to keep doing this stuff. So thank you, Derek. Trust me, I'm humbled every day. Like, I thank you guys so much for the support. The more you comment, the more love you guys and like support you give, the more it makes me want to do more videos. Like, I don't know if I can do any more videos. I do a video every single day. I don't know how much more videos I can give just to show my love and support for like you guys helping me out here, just getting these gurus out of business. So I don't know like what else I can do, but I'm trying my best to help you guys out because that is basically what I want to do. Wholesaling Houses for Real is the Facebook group. Yes, Wholesaling Houses for Real is the Facebook group. Let me go find that link really quick. All right, guys, like this video and subscribe. Helps the algorithm so we can put these gurus out of business. Love the videos, Kareem. Thank you so much, Kareem. You're the man. New Jersey makes a requirement to tell your seller to assignment free from now on. Really? Let me look that up. If you have to, I mean, you can, but I've never heard of that. Be interested, though. Be like Mike Tyson and probably do double closings, but that can get round Abdullah. But sweet to see. Be like Mike Tyson. I love it. Virtual wholesaling tips needed. Owner wants to meet. Who should I work with to view the property, and how should we pay for them to view the property with trust? What I want you to do is get a photographer to go through the property, take pictures, and then you can have the cash buyer go through. Maybe the photographer can bring them through or something like that. That's probably what I would do with trust, because a photographer's probably not going to try to steal a wholesaling deal. Think of getting a VA to start wholesaling. I recommend, like I've said before, learn wholesaling by yourself and then get a VA after that. Keep grinding, bro. Never stop, bro. I'm not going to stop till all these wholesalers, like wholesaling gurus, go out of business. Could you mention some good market for wholesaling real estate? I have a video coming out. Anywhere in the Southeast is really good right now. Let's get this money. Do you watch CoffeeZilla? No, but let me write a note here. Let me search CoffeeZilla. I'll watch it after this video. I don't know who that is, but I like coffee, so I'll go watch them after this video. I'll check it out, let you know. What market do you recommend? I'm thinking of expanding in St. Louis or Atlanta. I would say St. Louis right now. I like St. Louis a little better, but Atlanta's a really good one. Ashley, thank you for joining the group. Yep, a lot of predatory wholesalers are ruining it, and a lot of agencies are just not doing the double closing. I'll go look up the laws and maybe do a video on it. I agree. Male 40 from Ohio. Sweet, Paul. So that's it, guys. That is the whole process for wholesaling real estate from start to finish. Make sure you guys join the free Wholesaling Mastermind, Wholesaling Houses for Real, facebook.com/group/Wholesaling Houses for Real. Really appreciate the support you guys have been giving me. It means so much to me. Here to help you out. I'm going to hold your hand in this journey for hopefully the rest of my life, help you guys in wholesaling real estate. So pretty exciting. So thank you guys so much. Have a blessed day.